I wanted to kick it off right by talking anime. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. All right, we are back. Before we get started with the show, a couple quick things. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and make sure that you are following the Comic Book Women on both Facebook and Instagram. That way you'll get notifications whenever we go live. Also, a new little fun thing we're doing here. If you are interested in sending in a quick 2-minute video of any type of content that you're interested in, feedback for the show, please send it on over. We'll try to incorporate it the best we can. If you are new, first off, welcome. We're thrilled to have you. I am Laura. I am joined by Lucy, Jen, and we have a special guest tonight. Nick, say hi. That's Nick over
What's
at
up, guys?
Arts. He's our anime expert for the night. So he's going to be chiming in, giving us his opinion, and kind of just hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Before we start with the actual picks that we chose for our anime, this is only the first show, to be clear, right, ladies?
Yes.
There's so much. This will be our first show of many that has to do with anime. But before we get started, the girls had a couple questions for you, Nick.
Sorry. Go ahead. Fire away, ladies.
Okay,
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here. You're brave.
I'm sober.
Jen, what did you want to ask?
I was actually really curious, like, what was your intro into anime?
Weird question, but I'd probably say Voltron back in the early 80s when I was a little kid. Then probably about 9, 10, like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball when it used to be on Fox, and then the whole resurgence, like with Funimation. A bunch of different companies, but basically Toonami. Toonami got me really back into it heavy with like Dragon Ball, Cowboy Bebop, a bunch of different things.
Yeah, same for me.
It started when you guys were kids.
I know. When did you realize, like, back then cartoons compared to today, they're different. Like me, I didn't realize that like Dragon Ball Z were like anime. You at a young age, you knew it was like, oh, this is anime. It's different.
Yeah, well, they had the big eyes, small mouth, looked totally different. Some of it was super clean. Like, I remember I was probably 8 or 9 when I saw Akira, and I was like, what the hell is this? This is crazy.
That's cool.
You guys are so much cooler than me. I was like watching the Smurfs. I spent my days doing, and you guys are watching all these cool anime shows.
Well, no, they didn't. I mean, for me, I didn't tell. It was like mid-90s, I think, when I started watching. When I watched, like, which the first one was probably Dragon Ball Z. That was the first one that I can remember knowing that it was like different, that it came, from somewhere else. It was different, but which it was like mid-90s, right, when it came out, I guess.
Yeah, and like we were talking earlier, back in the day, you used to have to get bootlegs with fan subs, which sucked. You had to get the VHSs, spend $20, $30, then you could finally buy DVDs, and then, you could finally download stuff that would take 2 or 3 days for one episode. So it's changed in like the past 20 years. It's nice.
Yeah.
Kids today, so lucky.
On demand.
Well, that was the other part of Jen's question. She wanted to know, like, do you just seek out stuff, or do people give you recommendations on what to watch next? How do you decide?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. There's a lot of different ways. Like, sometimes when I buy manga, I'll just go to the bookstore and go, what sounds good? I'll look up different stuff online, Another thing is there's a YouTuber called The Anime Man. He does like all the stuff that's out in Japan right now because he lives there. And he's like, check this out. Do you like dark, edgy stuff? Do you like this, that? And I'm like, I'll try it. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not.
It's called what?
The Anime Man.
The Anime.
But it's the number 1, and then Man.
Oh, I need to look.
Joey's hilarious. They also do a podcast called Trash Taste, where they usually just get messed up and talk about life. It's awesome. It's like drunken chat.
See, so you're the perfect person to have on. He knows his stuff. Before we get kicked off on the slides, I guess, very quickly, I wanted to say what's up to Aaron Yee. Thanks for joining. And Ed Randall, hello. And everybody else, make sure that you are giving the show a thumbs up. Comment as much as you want. We appreciate the feedback, but the thumbs up, they really mean a lot. Anyway. All right, so first pick of the night, we chose
It was kind of
He's the badass.
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. No, Master Roshi is the guy. He's Kamehameha. He's got the little
Yeah,
turtle
yeah.
backpack.
Yeah, I remember. Well, like you said, Jen, like we will get only like 30 minutes with commercials, and we had to wait like a week to watch freaking episode.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the power-ups took forever. They're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I will hate those things. It's like just move on before it ends.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the commercials. I think that the commercials are good for kids. It's exactly that reason. It makes you have to kind of wait. Hold on a second. My pug is attacking my foot. Hold on.
product placement.
I also
So
really
question-
liked. I also really liked the movies that they came, like the Tree of Life.
Yep.
Those are really cool. And then they had a couple other movies that I was like, oh, these are really cool. Like, I just really liked it.
All three of the Broly sagas. Like, there's 21, 22 Dragon Ball movies. I actually just saw the last Broly movie in theaters before everything got shut down.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
What did you guys think of that? The live action one that they made?
Trash.
Yeah.
It
But to
was
be fair,
to watch.
most anime live action movies, like I love Tokyo Ghoul, trash. Like Attack on Titan was trash. Most of them are just, they can't make it as good as the actual anime. But then again, the manga is usually better, like comics versus movies.
A Tokyo Ghoul. I just watched it like a few weeks ago.
Told you you'd like it.
And I oh my god, I loved it. And actually no, the live action actually, not.
It was okay.
I
It wasn't
really
good, but it was all right.
Because I have not. I need to watch the anime. I have not watched it yet, but I did watch only the show. I mean the live action movie, and I really liked it. I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Oh,
Well, you want to read Tokyo Ghoul, and then after they have Tokyo Ghoul RE, which is later on like Dragon Ball. It's pretty good. And they have a couple light novels too.
I need to.
Yeah, Nick was showing me his very small collection prior to us going live. He has so much. It's like a whole bookshelf just full. I'm super jealous. All right,
real
so that
quick.
was
Wait, real quick. When you so the sensu beans in Dragon Ball, whenever I eat edamame as a kid, I would pretend that they're sensu beans.
It's so cute.
that's so cute. I have a little plastic one that you can like push the beans out. It's supposed to help with anxiety or something.
Okay, Jedi Johnson 22 said, "Do you read anime books? I'm not coordinated enough to read anime books backwards."
Yes, it's reverse. It's from left to right. It's just reverse. You get used to it. Some of the American versions, they'll swap them, but it's better to read it backwards.
Mhm.
All right, very cool. Let's move on to the next one. This was actually your pick, Nick.
Which one? Ava. I love Ava.
Ooh.
So why did you choose this?
All right. I hate mech shows. Like, this was really popular in the 90s. This has been around for 25 years-ish.
Yeah,
And
not
they-
95.
Yeah. And Evangelion just has so many hidden religious undertones. The boy right there, Shinji, you can't see my finger, but basically, spoilers, he's God and has an existential crisis, and he's in love with all the girls and has to save the world.
No!
I didn't ruin it. I didn't ruin it.
Finish it
There's
yet.
so much more. There's so
I'm
much
in, like,
more.
I have 2 episodes in. Damn it. All right.
Okay, listen. There's about 22 episodes. There's 3 OVAs. Then they have 3 new movies with the 4th movie coming out. It's really good. And the best part is, have you gotten into what the Avas actually are, or no? Because I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, I've only gotten
The
like
giant necks.
2 episodes in, but I mean, I kind of sensed, or I thought there might be some religious undertones because they called those things angels in the first episode, which I don't know a lot yet. So
Well, it kind of seems like it is like a event. I mean, some kind of religion thing, because like the Evangelion thing. It kind of sounds
Evangelion.
like religion. Yeah. Where can you watch this?
This is actually on Netflix, or it
it's
was
on Netflix
a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
It doesn't have the extra movies, but they had the regular series. They had Death, Rebirth, End of Evangelion. End of Evangelion was edited because they had stuff that they can't show anymore. It's not appropriate. Then they had 3 new movies. You cannot advance, you cannot redo, you cannot do something, and then there's 4.4 that we've been waiting 3 years for it to come out. It's so good though.
Okay, Chad Kate says, can't stick around to talk manga because I'm 50 years old. I'm a 50-year-old man. But I will say the 2004 Appleseed movie, it's amazing, and I have watched it at least 50 times. Well, stick around because we can there's some good stuff that we have to talk about, and you probably will like it. It's a little bit different. It's not all about fighting and everything.
Yeah, and Nick said there's something for everybody. There's literally something out there for every age group, whatever you're really into. Like, again, prior to the show, he's like, well, Laura, what are you into? I'm like, I don't know. I like the sorcery stuff. I like magic. And he's like,
boom.
Yeah. And also, like Chad Cave, I definitely recommend when you start to watch anime, give it at least 3 episodes. And when you're 3 episodes in, you should be at like the big hook part, right? Like at least like the baby hook.
I'd say 5 if it's like a longer running series. I'd say at least 5 to see if you like it and weigh it up. Because sometimes it's just the setup for like 2 or 3 episodes.
That's true.
Yeah.
There is an exception. Lucy picked one later on we'll get to that I think is an exception to that rule, but we'll get to that in a few minutes. All right, so moving on. Before we do, though, hello, Basement Issues. He said hi to all of us.
What's up?
Oh, he said he's jealous. Basement Issues. My heart, I'm jealous. I wonder why.
No, Nick is brave. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to come on a show with 3 other women, right? You never know what's going to happen. For those of you who are just hopping in, make sure that you are following The Comic Book Women at Instagram, or on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. We sincerely appreciate the thumbs up. So if you're enjoying the show thus far, just click the button, just click that button. All right, moving on to the next one. Oh, I think I have it ready. Oh, wait, before we move on to the next one, our sponsor, yay, we have a sponsor officially. So Bird City Comics sponsors Comic Book Women. And right now, if you use the code CBW15, you get an extra 15% off of their websites. So check out Bird City.
Yay.
Now I think we're moving to the next one. There we go. Okay, so I put this on, and Nick, I hope you're not thinking this is super corny. I had to. What does that mean?
So he doesn't think
Pokemon XY, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Black.
So he doesn't think it's corny, okay?
Thank you. Yeah, I was a little bit hesitant. I told the girls, I'm like, should I do Pokemon, or is that just too obvious, so to speak?
It's a gateway drug, just like Dragon Ball was for a lot of people.
Nick, I swear to God, I said the same thing to Anthony. I go, Pokemon's a gateway to anime. This is how some people, especially in the US, got hooked on anime. And not to mention, it has a huge following. You have the games, you have the cards, you have the movies.
Huge spike with the cards now.
You have my haunted. Can you guys hear that? So Adam for Christmas got this little guy. Here, I'll do it again. And it
This is scary.
It randomly goes off in the middle of the night.
Oh, look at it. Oh, that's cute.
This is a hard amiibo to find. I love amiibos, but yeah.
Badass. So see, there you go. If Nick likes Pokemon, that means that it's solid. It belongs in the running. Jen, have you seen this?
I have seen Detective Pikachu. I liked it a lot. It was really cute. And Ryan Reynolds did a freaking great job as a voice actor.
He did.
Ryan
Should have been
Reynolds.
Danny DeVito.
That also would have been good.
Danny DeVito. Oh, I can totally do that.
It was a whole internet thing to get him on it.
Yeah, I like that.
Lucy, have you watched Pokemon? Have you seen the movies or anything?
Yeah, well, when I was little, like I did watch. I remember just watching. I think I want to say just the first season, but then after that, I didn't keep up with it. And but you know what? Oh, I should have added. I remember again when I lived in Mexico, and I don't know if that happened here too. Oh, hey, now, girl.
Sorry, that shit's haunted. It just went off. You guys saw my hand.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So creepy. In Mexico, I don't know if that at the same time that was happening here, but in the bag of chips, they will come out with those. Oh my god, what are they called? It starts with a Z. And then you will play like they were like round little
Pogs?
things. Yes.
No, Pogs.
Pogs.
Yeah, and then you will play with those. I used to play like, oh my god, I have so many. I have like 500 of them. Because
like
I will battle. Yes, I will play with other kids, and I will be good at it somehow. And I remember collecting 50, and then somebody stole them. And then I remember my mom went all crazy and like, give her back. But he's like, I sold them, so I never got them back. But that's son of a gun.
That was a tragic story.
It was sad. But yes, I remember, and I was so into it. Oh my god, I love them. But yeah.
Nick, do you have any of the cards in the little slab cases?
No, actually, I don't grade cards, but I see Magic cards up there too. No, I gave them all to my little cousin a while ago, and now that they've blown up in price, kicking myself. I had a bunch of Charizard foils from the first print.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I played first edition when it came out. That was right around the time I was still playing Magic. Yeah.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I read that in 2019, one of the slab near mint cards. I don't remember exactly which one. Maybe Anthony can tell me. This is where we need the voice of Oz.
It was the Charizard. I think Logic paid like $150,000. It was
$195,000.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's insane. So, I mean, we had to include this on our first anime show, because this is, I mean, it's a monster in this realm.
Nowadays,
go ahead.
Just saying, like nowadays, like my nephew. So I watched the original cartoon, and then he's like, "Oh, you want a Pokemon?" I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, "What are all these new Pokemon?" And he's like, "Oh, this is so and so and so and so and so and so." I'm like, "Okay." And then he told me that he can't bring his cards anymore to school because it's been banned because they were like trading and stuff.
Oh yeah, Adam got in trouble for bringing these to school. They considered it gambling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
They're like, you can't do that. It's gambling. Well, because my little shit of a son would like totally screw people out of their best cards. He's like, oh no, this one's not worth anything, but here's my little energy ball. Take this. And the kid would be like, sure. And I get a phone call. It's like, your son's screwing over kids at school. So
yeah. Didn't Logic posted that he had one of these? It was, and then his baby was holding it, playing with it, or something like that. Was it Logic? I think it was. Somebody was some rapper. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was
Logic. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It says Brandon James. It says, do Vampire Hunter D and Fist of the North Star fall? Is it in this category?
Which category are you talking about?
Anime.
Fist of the North Star is more of a shonen, and I love Vampire Hunter D and Bloodlust. There's actually a whole book series that was a light novel series, but it's more of a horror or isekai. But I wouldn't really say isekai. I'd say it's more of a horror type of thing.
Okay.
Damn, Nick is knowledgeable. Look at that. You're like a well of anime information.
That's why I want to do a podcast about it at some point.
See, that's why you're on with us, though, right? Because it's like, this is a really cool topic, and we know, guys, we are just scratching the surface. So Nick's gonna have to come back.
Yes,
I'll happily come back.
There's no way to do it all in one show. There's just no way, right?
Yeah,
it's not like the 80s, 90s cartoons. There's no way.
That's why we just did our picks right now, because it's just too much.
But having said that, if any of you out there are huge anime fans, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, send in a little clip or even just message the Comic Book Women on Facebook and let us know what you want to see on the show. Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one. I think this is Jen's pick, but Nick's gonna, there you go. Nick's gonna go nuts. What do you think?
Cowboy Bebop?
Sorry, I love Bebop.
Yeah. I'm okay. So I am I'm excited for the live adaptation, but like you said, there's not one that's like done amazing. Like they all kind of do suck. Like Dragon Ball was the first movie I walked out of because I was like, what the heck is this? Like they're not even trying, right? So with Cowboy Bebop, I'm like, I loved the anime. Like it was beautiful and the soundtrack, like,
that's my husband's favorite too.
It's just such a good. It's amazing. Like it's a space opera with pirates. It's how can you not love it? And bounty hunters.
There's a corgi.
Yeah, Ein's awesome.
Jen, you sent out the list of people that are going to be in the live action though, and it has some pretty good actors, right?
I mean, my hope is that like
they don't butcher it.
They don't butcher it, but that like they realize like, okay, there hasn't been one anime done like fantastically, and like we're gonna be the first to just like knock it out of the park. That's my hope, like at least.
Question about the Bebop movie, not the OVA that they put out, the one that they're filming right now. Did they say is Ed gonna be a male or female, or is it just a gender neutral person?
I think Ed, because that was the one.
Yeah, no one knew that it was a girl for the longest time. They assumed it was a boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ed's gonna be shoot. I thought that I was having a hard time finding all the casting news because some of it was fan casting, and I'm like, stop posting fan casting stuff because it's getting me confused, right?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. Like that was the hard part to like try to pin down. It's gonna be on Netflix. I just really hope, and I'm kind of using it as a precursor to Avatar, like the Last Airbender, because I know that's not technically anime, right? But
yeah,
if they can knock Cowboy Bebop out of the park, then I have more faith. Like, but if they F it up, then I'll be like, oh, I'm not expecting anything high anymore.
Hold on, real quick. Nick, somebody has a question for you. Is Alita considered a comic or an anime?
Alita was actually a manga first. Because, Japanese comics are manga. That's what it translates to. It's comics. So, yeah, it'd be a manga first, and then they made the movie. You're talking about Battle Alita or which Alita?
It doesn't really say. They just want to know if there's a
difference. I'm assuming Battle Angel Alita, but yeah, there was a bunch of mangas for it.
Yeah, and so that's important, guys. If you're new to anime, when you hear that term manga, that can be confusing. I thought that you guys just wanted a snack. Like, let's go have a mango. But they were actually talking
about a mango.
Yeah. Well, when Jen was saying it, she's like, do you like mangoes? I'm like, I love mangoes. I'm like, with chili pepper on them, they're delicious. You know, it took me a while, but I'm very new to anime. So if any of you out there,
even that picture you just showed, the top of if we can go back to the Cowboy Bebop,
it's got the manga on it.
Yep. The top left is the comic book that came to the US, but then to the right of that's the manga.
And people don't realize, they're also trades. They're like giant thick volumes of trades. They're about 100 to 300 pages. They usually have about anywhere from 5 to 15 stories in them, and they're about $10 to $15 on the lower end. So you binge it, like a trade paperback.
Manga sales have really picked up on Amazon lately. Beck Mongolian Chop Shop sells for $30 all the time. Maybe this should be a new area of collecting for us, guys.
There's not a lot of like money worth it, like out of print stuff, maybe, but it's like the omnibus, like the thick leather hardbounds that Dark Horse is doing right now for like Berserk and Hellsing. Those are pretty nice. I was asking
for those on the show the other day too. Barton, I'm seeing your comment about Death Note. Sit tight, sugar. We're getting there. Okay, but then I was reading this, guys. Again, I haven't seen this one, but it said that the show's depiction of violence and drugs came at a bad time in Japan's history, and because of that, they canceled the show temporarily.
Oh wow!
There was an increase in violence, especially in schools. So as a result, it was canceled in Session XX Mishmash Blues. But
I feel like they went through. It's kind of like what happened here in the United States for a while, right? Like where people were like, comics and cartoons and these things like should be regulated because it's like, and then they thought that it was making these kids do these things. And it's like, no, man, like just be better parents. Like,
yeah.
What? I'm just saying.
Anthony just went, damn, in the background. Slow clap to that. I 100% agree.
As a parent, I mean, I have to say, yeah.
Nick, do you have kids?
No, I don't. As far as I know, I don't. They're great to borrow and return after. You can go to theme parks, movies, do all the fun stuff, and go, here, take the kids back.
Oh, Chris
I don't hate
Bell,
it.
thanks for joining. He likes them, but he's just not sure if he has one. All right, moving on to the next pick that we chose. This one. All right, Nick, you and I are going to get into it on this one. Let's do this. Fullmetal Alchemist. Anthony's like, yeah, Lord, give it a go. So I start watching episode 1. Girls, have you guys seen this?
Yeah, I seen another Brotherhood.
Brotherhood's different. Yep.
Yeah, it's different, but it's and not.
Nick likes that one better. This one was kind of like the first episode. You're trying to figure out like what the hell is going on for me. I was like, what is the brother's inside the suit and it's his soul, and I'm like, what's happening here? But
it's a good example of why you need to give it like 3 to 5 episodes, right?
I couldn't even get through the first episode. Nick,
Really?
what do you say?
Well, this is also another issue they have with some animes. I think when this came out, just like with Hellsing and a couple other ones, they're not finished with the manga series, so it's just filler that they put in whatever they want and try to match up the plot points. Then when they put up Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, that was based more on the manga. Because just like, like all the Marvel or DC animated things, they're based on the original comics. Same thing with the mangas. So that's why sometimes you get a little bit different of a story, or it ends, and you're like, what the hell? And then they come back with a new series or OVA, which is a movie after the fact.
So it's kind of like what they did with Game of Thrones, because they ran out of material.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, I have a question here. Comic Man Andy, Nick Hart, are all manga prints still just in black and white?
For the most part, the only thing that I know they did, which is a nice segue, was when they released in America, they released Akira in color, which, besides on the wall, these are a pain in the ass, like the color pages they put out. Like, I want manga pages more than other stuff, but hold on one second. Where is it? This is what like the Hardbarn Akira is. It's all just black and white, but almost all manga is black and white. It's so much nicer. And then can't really see, but they use Zipatone where it's like the shading where they actually cut them out. Now it's all digital, but it's so much cooler.
Why is it cooler in black and white?
It just lets you imagine whatever colors you want to do. Like, I also love, just seeing black and white inkings of stuff. It looks so much better. It's like when you get the comic or like, a deluxe edition, but it's like that all the time. And it's cheaper to print because when they print them up in magazines, they're usually in like Shonen Jump or just whatever magazine to pump it out.
I mean, they did the same thing with Walking Dead in black and white. It is cheaper just to like, but also he's right. Like it gives you that creative
aesthetic.
Yes. And then if they're really great, like it also it highlights, like, because I feel like a lot of things get lost in color sometimes and you don't really appreciate. That's why when they do like the black and white or the inks only, you're like, or the sketches, you're like, oh wow, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian Lingus, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, Lingus. Hey, Lingus.
Okay. Is this live on this page or YouTube? It's live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Oh.
Yeah, if you guys aren't following the Comic Book Women on Facebook, bro, get on it, because that's where we are now. This is actually the first show, Nick. You're the first person that we're streaming directly from our newly born Facebook page. So yeah, that's probably the best way to find it if you want to go, or on YouTube again. We're kind of everywhere. But back to the black and white thing. Would that, I kind of feel like Wizard of Oz. Like I liked the black and white, but then once the color came, it was like,
But the other cool thing is when you get them larger, though. Hopefully there's nothing bad in here. But like when you get in a larger format, well, Berserk's really adult. But I mean, some of the stuff. Let me make sure. Like, do you see like the demons and stuff? It's just the different gradients, and just instead of colors, they just have black, white, and gray for shadows.
It's like maybe what you won't miss. They do it so you will miss the color, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes they'll do like 1 or 2 pages inserted in it with, like they do Copics over and color it and say, this is what the character looks like in your head. You're like, but I thought he had black hair. Now he's got blue hair or green hair or something,
Oh, JJ Maxwell said that Sailor Moon recently got full color re-release. There you go.
That's cool.
For the people like me, they're like, I need some color. Yeah. If you guys are wondering why I'm looking this way while he was putting it up, so I have a bigger screen over here, and I wanted a close up of what Nick was showing. So
I don't have 2 screens, so that's why you see me come closer.
I know. I do that too.
I should have said share screen. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're fine. Okay, now moving on to the next one. This is my personal favorite that I chose for the night. Brandon, you were talking about this earlier.
Yes.
Okay, so I started this a couple days ago. I was like, Anthony, I got to get some good research under my belt before I go on this show so I don't sound like a dumbass. And he's like, Laura, watch Death Note. So I'm like, all right. This is a fantastic story. Essentially that character right there, he finds a notebook, and if he writes the name in the notebook, that person gets killed, and he kind of gets to choose how they die. If he doesn't choose, they have like a heart attack, right, Nick?
Well, there's a couple different ways, but yeah. Have you read the one they just did about a year ago? That was their second after the fact. Trump gets the notebook, and they changed the rule that whoever buys it, they die. So Trump dies in the manga. It's awesome. Yeah.
Look
it up. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's awesome. Yeah. No, I haven't gotten to that one. And Brandon was asking me if I watched the live action, and I haven't yet. I'm going to start with the anime first.
Well, which live action? The crappy one on Netflix or
This
the
crappy
three
one.
different? Well, they have 3 different Japanese movies. They're okay, but Ryuk's animation looks kind of cheesy, but
It's better than the Netflix one.
yes, much better.
Yeah, my husband. See, I'm into. I like anime, and I don't like that many yet because I'm still kind of like Laura. I've been into maybe for the past 5-6 years, and it's because of my husband. And this one, he loves this one too. And he was watching, and he tried to watch the live action on Netflix. He couldn't get past the first episode. He's like, "Oh, this is trash."
Well, Willem Dafoe made it good as Ryuk. Other than that, it was trash. But by the same artist, it's coming out as an anime probably in another year or so with COVID. But it's called Platinum End. It's awesome too. Basically, kid kills himself, and he finds out that there's gods, and they're fighting to like see who's going to save the world. Same art style. It's pretty good.
The art style is amazing, isn't it?
So they use it sounds like the demon. What is it called? The one from Neil Gaiman, the show that came out, and it was a book
American Gods.
No. Not it's on Prime, Amazon Prime.
Good Omens.
Good Omens. There you go.
Was good.
Yeah,
it's a little different, but it's good. Check out the anime. Should probably be on a year.
Yeah, you see, Nigel. I can't pronounce it.
Nigel, hi.
Netflix is bad.
No, it's Nigel T. That's one of our one of the Bird City peeps. That's Netflix one is bad. So very quickly before we keep going, guys, Facebook people that are out there, what's up? We're so happy to have you guys in the show. If you don't mind, and if you're enjoying it so far, if you know somebody that you think might enjoy this type of stuff, where we're just talking. Well, tonight we're talking anime. Please share it out. And be sure to follow the Comic Book Women on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. We're on all 3 now. But yeah, anyway, so the Death Note, though, I was watching it with Anthony, and I'm like, the way they drew that guy. What's his name, Nick?
Hold on, I was on
Death.
Which one? Right there? That's Ryuk. There's also 3 other demons death gods that they have in there. Rissa has the one wrapped up. I can't think of his name. He looks almost like a mummy. And then there's a death god that has the Native American headdress. I actually like Rissa better than Yagumi.
Oh, the headdress, that'd be so cool to see. Yeah, this one though, when I first saw that, I've only gotten that far and was like, what a cool interpretation. The twist at the end on Netflix was decent, but the old Japanese ones were good. But yeah, the CGI, LOL, that was Langus. His opinion on the Netflix one, but I'll get to that soon.
So are you still behind? You haven't finished it? Because it gets way better. Like, have you gone? Oh, you're only a couple episodes in. I'll shut up.
Like I literally before the show started, I'm like, okay, let's try anime because I'm so new to it. So if any of you out there are new, I'm in the same boat. I think Lucy is too. We're still, she's probably a little bit more well versed on a couple of these. We'll get to in a few minutes. But if you're new, like you just have to kind of find the couple that you like, and if it hooks you, keep going. But I have a long list that I got to.
And if anybody's actually curious and you're on Instagram, add me, Heartless Art. I can answer any questions you want. Like, do you like this type? This type? I can give you some suggestions. See what you like, don't like. It's like Image or any other indie comic company. There's more stuff out there than just what Marvel, DC has, and it's cooking, sports, slice of life, cute stuff, horror. It's anything you could think.
Like you said, it's like comics. There's a little bit of everything for everybody. Yeah.
Anthony just added the overlay there, so there you go. At Heartless Arts, go ahead and follow him and message him. And I think you'll be a great resource for anybody that's already into anime, anybody that's starting, really for anybody. All right, let's keep going. Next one on the list. Oh, go ahead, Lucy.
Oh, sorry. Dang.
What was that?
That's eerie.
No,
I know, like
weird. Did you hear that? That
it
was
went like
weird outside. That was weird. Oh well, it was perfect for this. The Blue Exorcist.
What the hell, Lucy?
That was outside, I swear. That's scary too, because I can hear my headphones like so loud.
We couldn't have planned that. That just happened. So Blue Exorcist was Lucy's pick.
This one, my husband watched this when it came out. It was like 2014, the first season. And I wasn't really paying attention until this past year to 2020. We started watching it, and oh my god, I fell in love with this show. It's a twin brothers, and they are raised by this priest, and the brothers, there are the demon or Satan's kids, and the one that you have here on the screen that you can see, he has powers like demon powers, I'll say. Have you seen this one, Nick?
No, actually, this sounds like a little
we were
stuff
talking
shot.
about it.
I like
Yeah, you
it.
told me a couple months ago that I should check it out. This sounds cool.
Yeah, so they're teenagers. So then the boys are going to become a exorcist.
Yeah. Well,
but since this one's the Satan's son, he's not within the church or whatever where they're going. He's not very, they don't trust him, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like, so they raised him like a human. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Hellboy, right? Like you raise somebody with the hopes of, and so the dad priest, who's an exorcist guy, like did it for a reason. So the brother always knew, which is kind of cool to learn, right? Like, right, Lucy? And then this guy, but I don't see him being that bad. Like all the times he quote unquote acted up was like for a good reason.
Yeah. And but yeah, like I said, and then season 2, it came out 2017, so it was a big gap from season 1 to season 2, and hopefully season 3 maybe, or there was a movie, because I get confused with this one and another, because they're kind of similar with another show that we're going to talk about, but I know 2021 they're supposed to release season number 3. And also, me and Laura were talking about the soundtrack at the end of this, the first season.
Chilling.
Love it.
It's chilling.
So
awesome. And Nick was saying something about the soundtracks. What was it, Nick?
Okay, so usually when they do an anime, besides all the voice actors and everything else, they hire actual like bands, like say if it's J-pop, rock, rap, metal, like with Death Note.
Oh, yeah.
The song Zayatsu Billy, Maximum the Hormone does a bunch of different stuff. They do the rap, rock, everything. It's an actual, like, it's weird how they do it. Like, say if you got like a big famous artist right here in America and put it on your cartoon show, that's what they do with a lot of their soundtracks.
Yeah, and well, on the Blue Exorcist, 2 PM, it's a K-pop group, and it's I was just telling you guys that for Jay Park used to be part of 2 PM, which I don't know if a lot of you know who Jake Park is. He's if you guys are into UFC, he is Korean Zombie's best friend.
We talked about that, I think. Yeah,
and he's done a lot of his fights and stuff like that. But he used to be, and now he's a K-pop producer, and he still has his music. But they're like kind of the beginning of like the K-pop kind of thing before like it got super. They're already famous over there, but yeah, it's so good. I love it. I love that song.
All right, this is gonna drive you guys insane, Nick, or Jen, Lucy. You guys might know. Do you remember the Batman with Jack Nicholson? Who was the girl?
Kim Basinger.
Okay, yeah. What's the movie with her? And she has like a little girl that they think is autistic, but really the little girl can see demons. Come on, you guys.
Oh.
You guys?
No.
Kim Basinger.
Remember, like it's like a little redheaded girl, and like she can see. That's kind of what this anime reminded me of.
The Blue Exorcist.
The girl from Wendy's? Sorry, I'm a wise ass.
You know when maybe it came out?
Oh man, it was a while ago.
Bless the Child?
Yes. Bless the Child. Yes. Have you guys seen that?
I don't think I ever seen that one. Oh,
So it's kind of the same concept. There's this little girl, and they're like, what's wrong with this girl? But she can see like all the little demons. And so in the first episode of this, you have the main character walking around. There's like demons flying everywhere, but nobody else is made privy to that. And it's just, I'm trying to sell Nick here. Nick, will you watch this, please?
Oh, Blue Exorcist sounds awesome.
I think we talked about it, right, Nick?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah,
I've just watched so much stuff. Like I'm watching stuff currently streaming in Japan, so I try to get caught up every 2 weeks with just binging 2 or 3 episodes. But I'll check it out. Let me see if it's on Funimation.
It's on Netflix.
It's
on
Netflix.
Season 1 and 2. It's on Netflix, so you can. Oh, and on Hulu too. I believe it's on Hulu. Sorry.
Lucas said, "Damn, Nick, I got replaced."
Sorry, buddy. We're still doing our show, right?
You know what? I actually didn't. I did. I said like we need to have Lucas or Nick, but I know Lucas has a lot going on. But maybe next show we'll have Lucas.
Yeah, it's comic book when we're always looking for other people that want to be involved in the show. We have Frank Gogol coming on next week, but that's another story. All right, let's move on to the next one, guys, before we get sidetracked here. I'm telling you, Nick, it's so hard to keep this show under 8 hours. Sword Art Online. This is the other one that Anthony insisted that I started watching. He's like, Laura, if you really want to get into this world, here we go.
This is an isekai. This is so good. It's my jam. This came out 10 years ago, but it's so good.
12?
Yeah.
2012 this came out. Nick, can you give a brief synopsis of what this is about?
Sure. Basically it is I forget the name of the guy, but basically they play an MMO, say like WoW or whatever. It's sword and sorcery based, and they put VR on and they get stuck in the VR and they can't leave. They can't go back and forth. And if they die in the game, they die in real life. And then they got to fight a bunch of bosses. I won't ruin it, but it's really good. Season 2 is even better, where they can't play Sword Art anymore, but they play Gun World, which is pretty good. And it's really cute and fun. Well, it's not cute and fun. It's more of like a isekai shoujo, like action packed, like little fan service. If you like, sword and sorcery type of stuff, you'd like this.
Yeah. It makes you think, because at first, like when I play video games, I don't like to sneak and like take too long. I just go right and fight. So when they say like the premise of it, you're like, oh wait, okay. So you get 1 life, and when you get down to 0, you die.
Well, no, it's because they're stuck in there because
because the guy, but I'm saying like that premise, it's scary because when we play video games, like usually we it's like, oh, big deal, we have like many lives and you don't really nothing bad happens. So the fact like it just made me think about like if that was a thing that you were in, right?
Well, there's a ton of stuff that Sword Art was one of mainly like the first anime/mangas that did it with the isekai world of you're transferred to another world, but it's like a medieval fantasy type of thing and you're stuck there and you usually can't get out.
Kirito is the character's name.
Oh, okay.
I just want to sound like I know something that you don't. There you go, Nick. I need something you didn't know. It's Kirito.
I remember the cute little pink girl. Is it Momo or Smomo? She's so cute.
The cute little pink girl. Yeah. Hold on, I'm not looking anything up. Asuna. Is that what you said? Damn it. Is that what you said?
No, I said Momo or Smomo. I forget. She's so cute though. Yeah, she's like got a little like curly nod and she's always like, me. And she's like, that's all. Yeah.
So we were talking about Ready Player One on one of the past shows, and it kind of reminded me of that. But what happens if you if somebody comes and tries to take your headset off, what happens?
Have you read Ready Player 2 yet?
No.
It was a letdown. But yeah, Ready Player 2 gets a little better.
Well, maybe the movie will be better.
I love Ready Player One. The
book was amazing. Movie.
So basically you die, right, Laura?
Yeah, if you pull the headset off, like a microwave just fries your brain like a burrito.
Oh, you know what? We were just watching this movie. A show, a Netflix original, and I believe it's. Oh no, not I believe it is a manga too. Alice Borderland. It's on Netflix. Ooh, that was crazy, and it was the same. It's kind of like, remember I was telling you, it's kind of like Hunger Games with what was the other ones that Battle Royale kind of.
Battle Royale is so good.
Yeah, well, this one on Netflix, oh my god, it was freaking crazy, and there's gonna be a season 2, so that I recommend that one. Alice Borderland.
Quick fun fact: you know how they've released all the Hunger Game movies, right? Battle Royale, I've had to buy bootlegs so many times. They wouldn't allow it in US because it was harm to children, them killing each other. But once Hunger Games came out, they could put Battle Royale out available in America.
That's funny.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
Very fun.
I just want to see kids with collars exploding. You know?
On that note, Food Wars is our next pick.
Oh my God. I
Never watched it.
love this. I love this show. This one, it came out 2015 and it's still ongoing 2020. It's 5 seasons. Sorry, my family just got here.
You're fine.
I got a little flat.
You're fine.
And so it's 5 seasons, and it's so much Yukahira. He is cooked with. Oh, hi, Romy. Yeah. Sorry.
You're fine.
So him and his dad, they own this little diner,
Restaurant.
a little diner,
Restaurant?
yeah, a restaurant, yeah. I'm like thinking like a little diner restaurant, right? And the dad just kind of goes away, and they send him to this elite school to become like a top chef type of thing. So he's gonna train, but then he is so cocky. As soon as he gets there, he's like, "I'm gonna kick everybody's ass," kind of thing. And but what I thought it was so funny. I remember the first time my husband was watching it first, and I remember I was like getting ready for work, and I hear like some. How do I put it, Laura? Help me out.
Okay,
Like,
so what she heard was, oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's what
So
she
I
heard.
calmed out. I was like, what the hell?
The Lucy
little
coming,
fan
guns
service.
blazing. What the hell are you watching? What the hell? And he's like, nothing. It's just anime.
It was just so every time they taste the food because it's so good, and honestly, for an anime like cartoonish thing, the food looks so delicious, like because they're cooking, they're like battling like who the cooks, like who's the best cook, and training how to be the best cook, and it gets so intense, and it's really good. And when they try the food, it's just kind of like the explosion with emotions.
So Anthony and I are watching it, and it blew their clothes off.
It's called fan service.
So I want to say when you guys are talking about the show, I'm like, I had it last on my list to like check out, and then I got 3 to 4 episodes in. I think Nick and I were talking about before while we got on air, like 3 to 5 episodes to give it, let it do. Because the first episode when it did that, I was like, oh, what is this, right?
What the fuck am I watching, right?
Right. But by the third to 5th episode, I was like, oh, they're giving like culinary tips, and I'm like, this is kind of cool. And then I wanted to know more about the guy, and like I got hooked, but because they started also like the reactions got less and less, right? Because the first episode is like extreme.
Yeah.
And I think
Josh said, "Hey, they have a Oh wait, no, I saw another one. They have food orgasm."
Foodgasm.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the good term.
The fact that they have like real culinary tips, like if you like cooking, just try to get past the first couple episodes, because then those reactions get less and less, right? Like, because that one girl was I was like, okay, this is the one episode I got to watch. I probably wouldn't watch it again. But when I got to the 3rd or 5th, I was like, okay, I want to finish this now. I want to learn more tips about cooking. It was.
Yeah, I was telling you guys how like they make the way they make the chicken. My husband got a good tip about how to make how to make a good chicken, like how to marinate and everything, like with milk and something else. And he tried it and it came out really good. So now that's the way he makes his chicken, because he learned that tip from Food Wars.
All right, really quickly before we keep going, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and follow the Comic Book Women on Instagram and Facebook. And if you are into anime, if this is your jam, follow Nick over at Heartless Art. He is more than willing to talk and give you suggestions on what he thinks you should watch next, and just tell him what you're into, right, Nick? And
Yeah, give you some pointers, try a couple different series, see what you like. I mean, there's so much out there. Like, just because you hate one doesn't mean, something on the same premise, totally different, creative team on it.
Exactly. He's a good resource, and so there you go. We provided you Nick on the house.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. And also, if you are new to us or if you're not new to us, either way, we have a sponsor, Bird City Comics, that is offering a 15% off promo code. So if you go to www.birdcitycomics.com, there we go. Anyway, and put in promo code CBW15, you'll get 15% off of your order. All of that money, since they are our sponsors, goes directly back into our channel so that we can keep producing really cool content. We have some amazing ideas for 2021, but we need your support. So please do that. And thumbs up the page if you're liking it. Okay. Anyway, so Jen, you're hooked on Food Wars. It's done.
Yes. Well, even though they talk about the chemistry of it too, and like how different things do different. Like, man, if you want to cook, like, and you just give it 3 to 5 episodes, and then like let us know what you think.
Yeah, we want to know.
They have 5 episodes, and I mean, I believe we had to watch the rest of it on HBO Max because they have them, all of them on HBO Max, but a lot of them there are on Hulu and Netflix, so you can watch those there.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right, moving on to the next one, which Lucy and Nick, you guys are going to have to take the lead on this because I don't know, Jen, if you've seen this. Demon Slayer? I haven't gotten it.
Yes.
I thought I was going to hate it, and because I bought, I'm trying different mangas to see what I like. And it's really slow up until about episode 18, 19, where you actually get in the actual demons. This reminded me a lot of like Dragon Ball, like the slow build up. Like I was going to stop after episode 4 or 5. I'm like, this is kind of stupid. I'm not really into it. Then you get into all the different characters, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, this one is the other one that I was telling you that I get a little bit confused with because it's demons, like with oh my goodness, Blue Exorcist. Yeah, in this one, it's a family is attacked by demons, and there's only 2 members left. The one that survived, Tachiro, and his sister Nezuko. And Nezuko,
Nezuko, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, my husband's over here correcting me too. And I watched it because he started watching it. And so the sister, she becomes a demon, and now like his goal is to find a cure for his sister, and that's why he becomes a demon slayer. But he's on like to find a cure for the sister, and the sister is so cute. I just love the sister.
She's a badass.
Yes, like she's doesn't
Sweet.
Right now, like she's like so sweet because when she's trying to attack him right at the beginning.
Yeah, the first episode or 2.
Yeah,
but basically,
go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
Basically, what it is Nezuko becomes a demon, and she's trying to attack him. Doesn't happen, and then she helps her brother track down some more demons, but they don't know what the hell's going on. Basically, what's his name? You just said his name. I'm horrible with the names.
Tajiro.
Yeah. Tajiro basically gets trained to become a demon slayer. Tanjiro, sorry. Yeah. Tanjiro becomes a demon slayer. He does all his training for about 2 years. They find out Nezuko is not really evil. She actually sleeps instead of eating people. That's how the demons get their power and grow bigger and bigger. And it's basically a no-no for Tajiro to actually be with the demon because it's against their code. And it just unfolds, and it's pretty cool so far.
Yeah, I love it. And it's this is only season 1, and season 2 is supposed to come out maybe April 2021.
And the movie was the top grossing movie in Japan. What they make, like $86 million in the first weekend during COVID? That's crazy.
It just came out, right? The movie.
Yeah, it's already leading box office in Japan.
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing. They're already leading box office.
Saying that the 2020 movie is actually the story arc you need to have to watch the continuation.
Yes. Oh yeah. So it's you have to watch because it's gonna continue. Yeah, I remember.
But the movie kind of fills in the gap.
Oh yeah.
Yes, continuation. The movie's gonna be a continuation to season 2, and I know all this because of my husband. So I give credit to Sam. He's my Google.
That's awesome. Good for you, Sam. JJ says that the Demon Slayer currently has the best art in anime, in my opinion. What do you think, Nick?
No, hell no. Trash. It's a great story, but the art's just not there for me.
Hey, that's all right. We're allowed to have different opinions. That's the whole point of these type of podcasts.
It's a good story, though.
angles. Yeah, good story though. All right, moving on to the next one. We have Goblin Slayer. Nick, this is your choice. Here we go.
How do I describe it? Goblin Slayer is another sword and sorcery, high fantasy type of thing. The names are all simple. The only character that actually has a name is Goblin Slayer. His real name's Orkbald. He goes around killing goblins. Well, the priestess, she's like, oh, I just turned, 18. Let's go to the Adventurers Guild and, get a little party together and let's go hunt goblins. The whole party gets slaughtered, not ruining anything. It's first episode. It's really hardcore and graphic, and you can get over that. It's back to a regular, normal type of thing. But basically, if you find out that Orkbald's a really nice guy, he just wants to kill goblins because they killed and murdered his family, and it's just a good adventure story.
Okay, this one sounds like it might be right up my alley then if it's really into the fantasy world. And
the goblins are mean little bastards, yeah.
Is this one also on Netflix or Hulu?
Funimation, maybe Crunchyroll.
Yeah, okay. I tried to find it, and I was like, damn it, Nick, I couldn't find it on Netflix. I couldn't find it on Hulu. And I'm like, if this is on HBO
Max, maybe YouTube.
Shit.
Maybe we can find it on YouTube. Who knows?
You probably can.
Yeah, I think this will be a cool one. I like the character. We had she was part of our flyer for tonight's show. Like, she's wearing like this pretty dress, and I was like, oh, hey.
Well, I won't spoil stuff, but yeah, it's a really good series. If you're in the high sword and sorcery type of thing, it's just action, action, action. There's a whole bunch of the party later on ends up being an elf, a dwarf, a lizard creature, and these two, and it's just a fun adventure. And then they did an OVA where it actually goes further on in the manga, like they did with Demon Slayer, and there's supposed to be another season coming out probably another year or so.
So Nick, do you want to hear something?
Sure.
JJ says, Goblin Slayer. Speaking of difference of opinions on trash.
I love it. It's so trashy. It's good.
I see a lot of people on the chat that you guys are talking mentioning different shows. All those shows, go to our Facebook and put them up there so we can look into them. Some of them that you guys are mentioning, I seen in One Punch Man. So just add them to our Facebook and send it to us.
I'm curious so many. Don't you want to see which team we are? Are we Team Nick or Team JJ? We got to get some
And Brian Langadis, I don't want to say his name wrong. Langus. Yeah. Record of Lodoss War was great, but High School of the Dead, if you want fun fan service with zombies, that's really good right there. Manga was even better.
See, this is awesome. This is what we're talking about, guys. This is what this show's about, bringing in all these different opinions and viewpoints, and it's just fun. All right. We got to keep moving. We are running so late. Next one on the list. Jen did her hand motions. Jen's excited. Jen, what is this?
So Hajime no Ippo. Okay. So if my intro to anime was Toonami, I was training to fight Muay Thai, and Will was one of the guys on my fight team. And he's like, hey, there's this really great anime you need to watch called Hajime no Ippo. And I'm like, okay. And then he's like, do you watch it yet? I'm like, no. I'm like, I have work and then this. And he's like, no, you really should watch it. He's like, you kind of remind me of the main character Ippo. And I'm like, is this an insult or is this
Wait, Jen, tell everybody what you do though.
Oh, I trained for Muay Thai because eventually I wanted to do MMA. So
okay. All right, I don't know if you said that or not.
Okay, so while training, he kept saying it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just watch this because I want to see if Ippo is a good or bad character. Because I'm like, and I started watching it and I got hooked because basically Hajime no Ippo is kind of like Food Wars for learning culinary without that other sound stuff, right? It's really good because it breaks down jabbing and it goes into old school boxers, Thomas Hitman Hearns and Mike Tyson, and it breaks stuff down and it's entertaining, and Ippo is a great character, and I got pulled in, and then I'm like, wait, how many episodes is the first season? And it was 74. And I was like, holy moly. All on YouTube, by the way, because I didn't have a lot of money. So YouTube's free. Great. I checked out a couple of the DVDs. Discotheque Media is going to actually purchase it for re-release for this coming year. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. But yeah, and then I found out it was this manga that's one of the 8th or 9th longest running. And I was like, this is, I went back to Will and I'm like, holy moly, you kind of pulled me into this like amazing world. What? And he's like, well, how far are you? And then like we would talk about it, but like, man, Ippo Makanuchi is like my favorite like anime character because I love like, man, boxing. Like he's just so cool. And yeah.
So you're saying I can learn to punch? Oh, sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
No, sorry, let me cut you off. Have you watched Baki the Grappler?
No, that's on my list of to watch. Yeah.
Why? Is that the same idea, Nick?
No, it's brutal, just like almost MMA like fighting, and it's just over the top violence and gore.
Oh, okay, but does it teach you how to punch?
No, it's just dudes beating the shit out of each other.
But would this one teach me then? Because like Food Wars teaches you how to cook. Does this teach you how to? This teaches you how to box.
It breaks it down. It actually it talks about some of the old school boxers and like their technique. So that's where like I'm like, oh, like it mentioned some guy who like never lost a fight but only won on points. So like I went and like, okay, who's this guy that they mentioned? Let me go do research on him. And I'm like, oh, like this is actual. And like this guy, I cannot say his name, but people keep calling him George, and that's what he has on his thing, but it's Jyogi.
Wait, hold on. You lost me at J.
Yeah, so Jyogi, but then he said, like, people call him George. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Good job, Nick.
But people call him George, and like he's, oh man, it's just, if you're a boxing enthusiast and you just want to see, it kind of reminds me, there's this like wrestling comic that talks about like a guy like working his way up the ranks. It's very that, but for boxing. Like, and then I personally watched it first with English subtitles, and I really like the voices. And when I tried to watch it with the English dubbed, I didn't like it. I was like, this is weird.
That was a quick question I was going to say. With you guys just breaking into it, like I usually fall in love with, if I watch the subtitle version first, you like the Japanese voice actors. You watch the American version, unless it's a really bad dub, you usually fall in love with that. Same thing for you guys, or?
Well, see, for me, for Food Wars, I like it better in English than Japanese. Yeah. And then the other ones, we watched it with just subtitles, and kind of we like their voice better.
Well, the English voice dubbing is getting a lot better now. They used to have, just like the same 10 people doing voice dubs, and like stuff with Bebop or like the Ghibli movies that came out. They actually got real voice actors for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like even Dragon Ball Z, like my intro was the English voices, and then when I tried to watch it with the Japanese voices, I was like, why does Vegeta sound weird? Like, so I had to go back to watching it.
Guttural growls, yeah.
Yeah. So I went back to like English, but this is the first one that I watched, like, because all my other anime was, I was like a kid in high school or younger, right? Like this is my first adult one. And I'm like, I really like the Japanese voices a lot better. Like I tried to do it, but it just didn't fit the character. I'm like, that's weird that they just didn't do a better job, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, how old is it though? It's older too, right?
Yeah, it is older. And then there's a big, so if you want to watch it, I recommend
2000, Jen, not 2000.
Yeah, I recommend. Well, it started in 80 something, the manga.
Oh yeah, you're right. 89 was when the manga came out.
Manga, yeah. And then
manga.
And then there's like a lot of like time between the seasons. So everyone's kind of, so if you want to watch it, YouTube, Crunchyroll has season 3, which that's cool. I don't know why I don't have the first 2. That's fine. But the 4th season, people are kind of thinking maybe this year, if not next year.
Very cool. Yeah, I think this would be a good addition to anybody that, again, it's into boxing. This is a good one, and the storyline sounds solid. So
I watched a few episodes with Sam. It was good.
Anthony Divins, what's up? Welcome on in. You're kind of at the tail end of the show, but
hi, Doc J. I know this is super late because he said hi earlier, Doc J.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we are going to be starting a poll for you guys.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Oh, Lucy, go ahead.
It's okay. No. We were going to start a poll tonight. Should we do one for our next episode too? We'll talk about that later. But yeah, we'll start a poll tonight for you guys to recommend more of the anime.
I think that's a great idea. That way you guys out there, because we know that we only scratch the surface. Like Nick was saying earlier, this really is a rabbit hole once you enter the world of anime and you're not so intimidated by it. And trust me, as a noob, it's not that intimidating once you start understanding it, and you have people like Nick that you can reach out to kind of make you more comfortable with the content, or any of the comic book women here. ask us questions. But this will be the first of, I think, probably a 3-show segment that's concentrated. 3, 4. Wait, Jen, are you talking?
No, I don't want to talk to you.
Didn't it look like she was talking?
I know. Are you doing her voice? Is it?
You did that perfectly. You were like, I totally thought you were talking. I was like, your audio's out. Anyways, make sure that you go onto our Facebook. We'll put a poll up for what shows you want to see featured next. We want to draw attention to some of these really cool shows. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Our Facebook is pretty new, so we want to start driving some traffic there. We are going to be having, within sometime in January, we'll be releasing our merchandise for Comic Book Women. Nice. So we'll have some really cool shit. Nick, you might have to get some stuff on the house for being such a badass and coming out with us tonight.
Hey, I bootlegged my own Drunken Chat shirt before anyone put it out, all right?
No, not true. No. He did.
I will get you legit merchandise you'll rock it. And in return, you'll agree to come back for the next 2 shows.
Of course, if you ladies will have me back, I'd love to come back. I got more stuff I'd love to talk about. And I'll even talk about weirder things like some shoujo. I actually like girl manga too. It's not bad. Some of it's really cute and sounds weird me saying it, but some of it's really cute, like sweet stuff that you never thought I would watch or like.
No, I think that's perfect. I think it'll be great. We're so happy that you were able to join us tonight. Anybody out there, what else do you guys want to add? Next week, just to get you excited, we are going to be revisiting the 80s and 90s cartoon content, and Frank Gogol is going to be our guest host that week. So make sure you're following the page so you get notifications when we go live. I think that's it for us tonight.
Thank you, ladies. And you've had way bigger guests than me, so I appreciate it, though.
We're so happy to have you on. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys.